You ever heard your grandparents say, I never thought I'd see the day? Well, I'm not as old as your grandparents, or I'm not old enough to be a grandparent, but I have one of those stories. Hi, I'm DeAndre Flowers, and I'm going to tell you about the day that I never thought I'd see. So, I work at the Orange County Corrections Facility as a detention service officer, and this day was a Saturday. Now, if my alarm doesn't go off, it throws my whole schedule sideways, and it's hard for me to get it together. Well, this day my alarm didn't go off, and I woke up 30 minutes late. So I had to get up, rush and take a shower, rush and get dressed, and rush out of the house. And in doing so, I forgot my work ID badge. So I didn't realize that until I got halfway down the street. So I had to turn around, come back, go up 4 flights of stairs, and get my work badge. And then on top of that, I didn't have any food for the night. And so not only did I didn't have food, I didn't have an appetite for anything that was around me. So I ended up driving and driving and driving, and I ended up going to the Wendy's that was down the street from my job. So this set me back another about 20 minutes. So I had about 20 minutes to get to work. So when I get to the Wendy's line is wrapped around the building. And I was like, oh, are you kidding me? I just can't get a break today. So I stayed in line because I'm not going to work without food. So I stayed in line, and at this point, I just accepted the fact that I was going to be a few minutes late. So I ordered my food, got my food, drove out the parking lot, and I called my supervisor, and I told my supervisor that I was going to be about 5 or 10 minutes late. And he kind of brushed it off, and he just told me, okay, cool, just get here or whatever. And so cool, that was that. And after that, as soon as I hung up, I saw two FHP or Florida Highway Patrol state troopers fly by me like with their lights on. And I thought that was kind of strange because, you know, state troopers don't respond to emergency situations. They respond to traffic accidents and stuff like that, but they don't respond to like emergency situations like that. So that was kind of like, crazy to me. And then so I turned down the street where I work, and there's like all different agencies of police officers that's like in this mess of a situation. And so I'm thinking that it's like a really bad accident. So I didn't really think nothing of it. So I get to the premises, and I turn to the premises, and I see that most of my coworkers are still sitting out in the parking lot. Now at this time it's past 6. We clock in at 5:55. So I knew it was something wrong when I saw all my coworkers outside in the parking lot standing around after 6. So I drove up to one of my coworkers and I asked her, I said, hey, what's going on? She was like, there's an active shooter in BRC in the triage. Now that kind of shook me because that's exactly where I work. And so at this point, I start looking at my watch back to back to back to back to back because I just timing is the star of this story, because if I hadn't woke up 30 minutes late, if I would have gotten there on time, if I would have got my food on time, I could have been in the place where the active shooter was. So time is the star of this story. So I kept looking at my watch, and we're out in the parking lot, and we're just getting updates. Most of them are like pretty much hearsay. We don't know exactly what's going on until we get in there. So 2 or 3 hours go by, and then we hear that we can go in. We go in, and where I work, the windows were like shot through. There was blood on the ground, blood everywhere, and um, it was just a mess. So they closed the jail down. I never thought I'd see the day that they would close the jail down. They closed the Orange County jail down, and they redirected everybody to Osceola County. So we pretty much didn't do anything that night because we were closed. We didn't have anybody coming in. Um, and so the conclusion of the story is they closed the jail down, and I never thought I'd see that day. But timing is the start of the story because it's all about timing. I guess you can call it divine intervention. Because if I would have woke up on time, if I would have got to work on time, I could have been in that situation when the active shooter was going on. And that's my narrative story about the day I thought I'd never see. Thank you.